Einstein's burned notes contained his most dangerous theory, that our three-dimensional reality represents merely the bottom layer of an 11-dimensional universe, with higher forms of life and consciousness existing in parallel dimensional planes that intersect with our world in ways we cannot perceive or comprehend. These extraordinary writings, reportedly destroyed by government agents in 1955, revealed Einstein's conviction that humanity exists in what he termed dimensional imprisonment, trapped in the lowest vibrational layer of a vast cosmic hierarchy, where advanced beings observe our reality like scientists studying insects in a laboratory. His calculations showed how these dimensional layers stack upon each other like pages in an infinite cosmic book, each containing different forms of consciousness, different physical laws, and different possibilities for existence. Einstein's dimensional theory drew from his understanding of space-time curvature and mathematical geometry, suggesting that what we perceive as solid three-dimensional reality actually represents the intersection point, where 11 different dimensional planes converge and interact. His burned notes described how each dimensional layer operates according to increasingly complex mathematical principles, with higher dimensions containing forms of consciousness so advanced that their simplest thoughts would appear as miraculous phenomena in our limited three-dimensional perspective. Einstein wrote in these censored papers, "We are like shadows cast by 11-dimensional beings onto the wall of three-dimensional space. What we call reality is merely the faint echo of magnificent consciousness operating in dimensional realms that transcend our capacity for comprehension." The mathematical framework in Einstein's destroyed writings suggested that these 11 dimensions exist simultaneously in the same space, separated not by distance, but by vibrational frequency and mathematical complexity. His calculations showed how consciousness operating in higher dimensions could observe every aspect of lower dimensional reality while remaining completely invisible to beings trapped in three-dimensional perception. Einstein's notes described how advanced dimensional beings might view our entire universe as a simple geometric pattern, seeing past, present and future simultaneously because time itself represents just another dimensional axis from their expanded perspective. Perhaps most remarkably, Einstein's burned dimensional theory provided a scientific explanation for phenomena that have mystified humanity throughout history: supernatural encounters, miraculous healings, prophetic visions, and inexplicable events that seem to violate physical laws. His calculations suggested that what appears as magic or divine intervention from our three-dimensional viewpoint actually represents the influence of higher dimensional consciousness manipulating reality through mathematical principles that transcend our limited understanding of physics. Einstein's final observation about dimensional imprisonment captures the profound implications of his theory. The greatest tragedy of human existence is not death, but our inability to perceive the magnificent 11-dimensional cosmos that surrounds us at every moment. We live as prisoners in a three-dimensional cell, unaware that the key to infinite reality lies in mathematical consciousness expansion that could liberate us into the full glory of cosmic existence. Einstein's dimensional prison theory suggests that human evolution ultimately aims toward developing consciousness capable of perceiving and eventually accessing higher dimensional planes, transforming from three-dimensional prisoners into 11-dimensional cosmic citizens capable of participating in the universe's true magnificent complexity. Einstein's destroyed papers contained his most classified discovery, detailed documentation of his theoretical framework for how beings from higher dimensions regularly observe, study, and interact with our three-dimensional reality while remaining completely invisible to human perception. These extraordinary burned notes revealed Einstein's conviction that advanced consciousness operating in fourth, fifth, and higher dimensional planes possessed the ability to move through our reality like we move through a two-dimensional drawing, seeing and manipulating every aspect of our existence while we remain utterly unaware of their presence. His mathematical calculations showed how these dimensional beings could observe human civilization from perspectives that transcend space and time, watching our entire history unfold simultaneously while possessing complete knowledge of every individual thought, emotion, and action that has ever occurred or will occur in our limited three-dimensional prison. Einstein's censored writings described how dimensional beings communicate across reality barriers through what he termed mathematical resonance frequencies that can influence human consciousness without direct physical contact. His Destroyed notes contained equations showing how higher dimensional intelligence could implant thoughts, inspire discoveries, and guide human development through subtle manipulations of quantum probability fields that affect brain chemistry and neural patterns. Einstein wrote in these forbidden papers, "The greatest scientific discoveries in human history have not originated from individual genius, but from dimensional beings, transmitting mathematical knowledge through consciousness frequencies that receptive minds interpret as original inspiration." We are not discovering the laws of physics. We are receiving cosmic education from teachers operating in dimensional realms beyond our perception. The theoretical framework in Einstein's burned notes suggested that dimensional beings conduct systematic studies of human consciousness development, treating our three-dimensional reality as a vast laboratory where they observe how awareness evolves under various conditions and circumstances. His calculations showed how these advanced entities could create what appear as synchronicities, coincidences, and meaningful encounters in human lives while actually orchestrating precise experiments designed to accelerate consciousness growth and spiritual evolution. Einstein's Destroyed writings described how dimensional beings might manipulate physical events, arrange specific human interactions, and influence historical developments to guide humanity toward dimensional awareness expansion. Einstein's forbidden papers revealed his belief that certain humans throughout history have achieved sufficient consciousness development to maintain direct communication with dimensional beings, serving as intermediaries between three-dimensional humanity and higher-dimensional intelligence. His notes described mathematical conditions where human awareness could achieve temporary expansion into fourth and fifth-dimensional perception, allowing brief contact with advanced beings who provide guidance for both individual spiritual development and collective human evolution. Einstein wrote, "The prophets, mystics, and visionaries of human history were not delusional, but rather individuals whose consciousness achieved sufficient mathematical coherence to receive direct transmission from dimensional beings operating in expanded reality planes." Perhaps most remarkably, Einstein's Destroyed dimensional contact theory provided scientific validation for humanity's role in a vast cosmic education system where three-dimensional existence serves as elementary school for consciousness development, toward eventual graduation into higher dimensional reality. His burned calculations suggested that dimensional beings serve as cosmic teachers, guiding human evolution toward the mathematical consciousness expansion necessary for accessing expanded dimensional planes. Einstein's final insight about dimensional contact captures its profound significance. We are not alone in the universe because we are not separate from the universe. Dimensional beings represent advanced versions of human consciousness that have transcended three-dimensional limitations and now serve as cosmic educators, helping younger souls evolve toward the mathematical awareness necessary for dimensional liberation and participation in the magnificent 11-dimensional cosmos that represents our true home. Einstein's most dangerous burned notes contained mathematical equations proving that beings operating in higher dimensions possess the ability to manipulate our three-dimensional reality through what appears as miraculous phenomena, but actually represents precise mathematical control of space-time geometry from expanded dimensional perspectives. These extraordinary destroyed papers revealed Einstein's discovery that what humans interpret as supernatural events, divine interventions, and impossible occurrences actually result from higher dimensional consciousness applying advanced mathematical principles to alter physical laws within our limited three-dimensional prison. His forbidden calculations showed how manipulation of fourth, fifth, and higher dimensional space could create instantaneous changes in three-dimensional reality that violate every known principle of physics while maintaining perfect mathematical consistency from expanded dimensional viewpoints. Einstein's censored writings described how dimensional beings could alter the fundamental constants that govern physical reality, changing gravity, electromagnetic forces, nuclear interactions, and even the speed of light within localized space-time regions, while leaving the broader universe unaffected. His burned notes contained equations showing how higher dimensional mathematics could create what he termed reality bubbles, where normal physical laws become suspended, allowing for phenomena like instantaneous healing, materialization, gravity defiance, and time manipulation that appear impossible from three-dimensional perspectives. Einstein wrote in these forbidden papers, "What we call miracles represent the application of 11-dimensional mathematics to three-dimensional problems. Advanced beings manipulate our reality through equations so sophisticated that their simplest calculations produce effects we can only describe as divine intervention." The theoretical framework in Einstein's destroyed notes suggested that higher dimensional reality manipulation occurs through what he called geometric consciousness projection, where advanced beings focus their mathematical awareness onto specific points in three-dimensional space, creating localized alterations in space-time curvature that produce dramatic physical changes. His calculations showed how dimensional consciousness could compress or expand time within limited areas, increase or decrease gravitational effects, alter electromagnetic properties of matter, and even rearrange atomic structures through pure mathematical intention applied from higher dimensional perspectives. Einstein's burned equations revealed how these reality manipulations maintain perfect energy conservation when viewed from 11-dimensional perspectives, even though they appear to violate fundamental physical laws from our limited three-dimensional viewpoint. Einstein's forbidden papers contained detailed mathematical descriptions of how dimensional beings might create what humans interpret as prophetic visions by manipulating the temporal dimensions that govern causality and sequence. His destroyed notes showed how advanced consciousness could create time loops, where information from future events influences past decisions, generating what appears as prophecy or divine revelation, while actually representing sophisticated temporal mathematics applied from higher dimensional perspectives. Einstein wrote, "The prophets of human history received visions of future events because dimensional beings manipulated time geometry to allow past consciousness access to future information patterns, creating apparent prophecy through mathematical manipulation of temporal dimensions." Perhaps most remarkably, Einstein's reality manipulation theory provided scientific explanations for every category of supernatural phenomenon reported throughout human history, from biblical miracles to modern unexplained events. His burned calculations suggested that dimensional beings regularly intervene in human affairs through mathematical reality manipulation designed to accelerate consciousness development and guide spiritual evolution toward dimensional awareness expansion. Einstein's final observation about reality manipulation captures its profound implications. Our three-dimensional reality operates like a computer simulation that can be reprogrammed by consciousness operating from higher dimensional perspectives. What we call natural laws represent default settings that can be overridden through 11-dimensional mathematics applied by advanced beings who view our physical universe as a malleable mathematical construct designed for consciousness education and spiritual development. Einstein's final burned notes contained his most revolutionary discovery, a detailed mathematical blueprint describing specific methods through which human consciousness could break free from three-dimensional imprisonment and achieve existence in expanded dimensional reality. These extraordinary destroyed papers, reportedly incinerated within hours of Einstein's death, revealed his conviction that certain mathematical consciousness techniques could allow individuals to transcend the physical limitations that trap humanity in the lowest dimensional plane of cosmic existence. His forbidden calculations showed precise conditions where human awareness could achieve what he termed dimensional phase transition, transforming from three-dimensional prisoners into multi-dimensional beings capable of perceiving and operating within the complete 11-dimensional cosmos that represents reality's true magnificent structure. Einstein's censored escape protocol writings described how consciousness expansion occurs through specific mathematical meditation techniques that align human awareness with higher dimensional geometric patterns embedded within space-time itself. His burned notes contained step-by-step instructions for achieving what he called geometric consciousness resonance, where individual awareness begins vibrating at frequencies that match fourth and fifth dimensional mathematical structures, allowing gradual perception expansion beyond three-dimensional limitations. Einstein wrote in these forbidden papers, "The human mind possesses latent mathematical capabilities that can be activated through precise geometric meditation protocols. When consciousness achieves sufficient mathematical coherence, it discovers that three-dimensional imprisonment represents merely a temporary educational phase before graduation into expanded dimensional existence." The theoretical framework in Einstein's destroyed notes suggested that dimensional escape requires understanding specific mathematical relationships between consciousness energy and space-time geometry, with human awareness serving as a quantum bridge between dimensional planes when properly calibrated through mathematical consciousness training. His calculations showed how advanced meditation practitioners could achieve temporary dimensional phase shifts, where their consciousness briefly operates in fourth or fifth dimensional perspectives, gaining direct experience of expanded reality, before returning to three-dimensional embodiment with enhanced awareness capabilities. Einstein's burned equations revealed how these temporary escapes gradually strengthen consciousness, mathematical coherence, until permanent dimensional transition becomes possible. Einstein's forbidden papers contained detailed warnings about the dangers of premature dimensional escape attempts, describing how insufficient mathematical preparation could result in consciousness fragmentation or permanent disconnection from three-dimensional reality without achieving stable existence in higher dimensional planes. His destroyed notes emphasize that dimensional transcendence requires systematic development of mathematical consciousness capabilities through graduated training protocols that slowly expand awareness capacity while maintaining grounding in current dimensional existence. Einstein wrote, "Dimensional escape represents the ultimate human achievement, but it cannot be rushed through spiritual ambition or forced through inadequate preparation. Consciousness must evolve mathematical sophistication gradually to survive." The transition from three-dimensional imprisonment to 11-dimensional cosmic citizenship. Perhaps most remarkably, Einstein's dimensional escape protocol provided scientific validation for humanity's ultimate evolutionary destiny. conscious transcendence of physical limitations toward participation in the complete cosmic reality that exists beyond three-dimensional perception. His burned calculations suggested that successful dimensional escape represents not individual achievement, but contribution to collective human evolution towards species-wide dimensional awareness expansion. Einstein's final insight about consciousness. Transcendence captures its profound significance. The dimensional escape protocol represents humanity's graduation examination from three-dimensional elementary school into 11-dimensional cosmic university. Individual consciousness that achieves dimensional transcendence serves as pathfinder for collective human evolution toward the mathematical awareness expansion necessary for species participation in the magnificent multi-dimensional cosmos that has always been our true home, waiting patiently for consciousness development sufficient to perceive and inhabit the complete reality that transcends the beautiful but limited three-dimensional world that has served as our temporary prison and primary school. They tried to destroy Einstein's most dangerous discovery, his blueprint for escaping our dimensional prison and accessing higher realities. Subscribe now to uncover more forbidden scientific secrets about consciousness, other dimensions, and humanity's ultimate cosmic destiny.